Freaky Friday.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name's RJ.
My name's Andrew. This is a podcast where we review movies that you should steer clear of. And this week we're talking about Freaky Friday from 2001?
3.
Close. We've
Nope.
got Trevor. We've got Trevor back.
Hello.
Trevor. The one and only.
Thank you.
The myth, the man, the Trevor.
That's me.
Yeah. It's been a while. How have you been?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm great. I got married. I moved. I'm good. 2 cats. 1 husband. The normal. Living the dream.
I don't know. You could have 0 cats.
That's true.
Immediate improvement.
That'd be awful. Oh my God. Okay. So we're a family podcast, so that I can't say what I want to say to you right now.
Go ahead, say it. I'll just cut it out.
No. I don't even want to. You don't deserve it.
Ooh.
Anyways, since somebody's too chicken, we're talking Freaky Friday.
We're talking Freaky Friday. Me every day.
You switch spots with somebody every day.
That sounds
No, I'm
horrible.
I'm
That sounds
talking Freaky Friday every day. Like every day I am talking about Freaky Friday.
Why are you talking about this movie every day?
Why wouldn't you?
Meh.
I guess we can get into it.
I don't know. Well, I mean, are we talking about the old one? Or are we talking about this one specifically? Or are we
This
talking
one.
Why-
There are 3 Freaky Fridays.
About, why we,
There's 3?
There's
yeah.
3.
This isn't the only version of it.
This is the middle one. There's a more recent one and an older one.
I think I remember an older one.
Yes, with Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
And there's a newer one, which I believe is a DCOM, and it's a musical.
Meh.
But why?
I haven't seen it. I don't know. It sounds bad.
And yeah, it sounds
Future
like a pass. Probably, sadly.
Yeah, okay.
More torture to ourselves, but
I would like to be a part of that one if possible.
that's very possible.
Hey, yeah, we got to get back into some DCOM movies.
Eventually.
Kind of bit back into that wheelhouse. I just realized how quiet I am.
For once.
Ooh. Yeah. Busted.
We've got my co-host over here, Salacious Crumb. We've got Trevor. We've got myself. Anyways, 1-minute summary. Trevor, go.
I can do it. Okay, so Freaky Friday is the story of a mother and a daughter who really don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. They all have a
Eye to
lot going
eye.
on in their lives.
The daughter's quite a bit shorter.
Yes. And they don't see the other's struggles. And then one day, I'm sure we'll come back to it, but they go
One
to a
day.
Chinese restaurant, and for some reason, they have access to magical fortune cookies that causes them to switch
don't?
bodies. No, I don't. And
You should go to Taste
so
of
they
Bangkok.
live a day in each other's lives and realize the struggles that they have to go through. And it's how much time do I have left?
You about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay. And
And thank you, the
and
woman.
they make up because they realize that the other's life was not as easy as they thought.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
RJ?
It's really deep.
Yeah, I've got some takes on that.
On what?
This movie?
On this movie.
Go on then.
Ooh, spicy takes.
I
Go.
kind of feel like I should say final thoughts, but whatever. The whole point of the movie is like, once they have character development, the movie's done.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the movie being like, we're not letting the characters progress. Oh, fine. We'll let them progress. That's it. There's no like actual like overcoming of something. There's no real like, I don't want to say antagonist, but there's like nothing that they're actively like.
That's kind of true, but like I would argue that watching it now for the first time, I think as an adult, it's like you do notice that like they both have like qualities of the other that like they kind of like they get confronted with in the movie. Like the daughter or the mom in the daughter's body like ruins the bully's test or whatever, and the boyfriend is like, you know what, that's like really not cool. So it's like they're more like each other than you think. And I think that like that's kind of the point. Doesn't negate your criticism, but I do think it was like interesting to see that though.
RJ, if you could take any actor in here,
In here, any actor. What was?
in the movie.
Oh, I was like, there's really no actors in here for the most part.
was gonna say Trevor.
I was in high school theater.
He was a thespian, but
Yeah.
outside of that, he hasn't really done much acting in per se.
The offers aren't coming.
Well, yeah, here you go. If you need an actor, we have one right here. You can find him on
Xhamster.com.
Instagram.
Hit my man up. Don't worry, I'll cut that.
We're enemies. My mortal enemy.
If you're an actor, you can find him on Instagram.
What was the question?
Relatively normalcy or something along those lines.
Don't tell people my things.
You can find him there and hit him
gonna
up.
have to cut
for
this whole
acting
bit
roles.
out.
It's okay.
So the question was, if you could take any actor in this movie and swap them with any other actor,
Outside of the movie, you mean?
who are you swapping them with?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, is there an actor that you think would bring something more to a role?
What's
that?
that?
Would bring like a different angle to it?
What's that comedian? It's been a lot of things. Michelle something.
Michelle
Melissa
Batu?
McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy. That's what I'm thinking of.
As the mom?
No.
It's the dad.
No. Here's the twist. Ready for this? Hang with me.
The daughter.
No, hang with me. She gives the fortune cookies. No, here's the twist in this movie. She follows them out throughout the rest of the movie, secretly trying to watch them through windows.
It's just a different movie.
It's fantastic, though. I've made this
Immediately a
better.
better movie. It's immediately a better movie because at least there's something else going
There's
on.
more comedy gimmicks to it. Boom.
Okay. I see your take.
And I just made it.
That's such a like polite way of saying that
I
was
hate
stupid.
it, but no, it's okay. I just made this spicy. Good
I don't know. I'm
takes.
thinking of like... You know what? This is around... You know what? Here's a bold one. Not really. But like... This is around when like Brie Larson was in like Sleepover and stuff like that. So
Oh,
Brie
like Van
Larson could
Wilder.
have been the daughter.
Van Wilder.
Was she? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was around that time. She was like around and she was young. So I think Brie Larson could have been Anna. That would have been like a breakout role for her.
She was in a different type of movies at the time, though.
Yeah, but she's talented.
Sure.
Have you
I'm
seen
on the
Room?
screen. I've seen Van Wilder.
You haven't seen Room.
I've seen Captain Marvel.
Have you seen United States of Terra?
I've seen Fast and the Furious.
Okay, so you don't know what you're talking about then.
I've seen Brie Larson. I've seen her in the car commercials. She does a pretty good job at pitching those cars.
She's in car commercials.
Yeah, she's in car commercials.
Wow,
I think it's like Buick.
good for her. She's moving on up from MCU.
Yeah, I honestly can't disagree with that.
Andrew, who'd you got?
Give me a sec. RJ, you go
Wow.
first.
He's on his phone.
I know, he's not
Yeah.
even paying
He's
attention.
looking at people.
I'm looking at people.
You can't even think of an actor off the top of your head that you would switch it
I
around.
thought maybe Michelle Pfeiffer for the mom.
For the
I think she's the right
mom?
age, right? Is she younger than that?
I think you could do.
She'd be about the right age.
I think she
She'd
could do
be about
it.
the right age.
Sandra Bullock for the mom.
I think she's too young. I mean, are we
So
at
I
any
tossed that
age,
around. I tossed
or-
that around too because I was like, maybe Sandra Bullock for the mom, but she'd be too young.
I think she
Anne
would be
Hathaway
too
for
young.
the daughter, but she'd be too old, and also she's in Princess Diaries around the same time.
Yes.
which is too much,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Um,
I was no go. For it.
I don't think I disagree with you guys. I don't think Sandra Bullock would be too young.
I don't. How old is she now? Is she even?
But
She's like in her 50s, 60s.
also look at her fiance
I don't know what her fiance looks like.
in the movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
Mark Hansen or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I hear
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That'd be a weird kind of combo.
you. I agree.
Who's the mom from Cheaper by the Dozen?
Was that? Oh, who was that? Diane Keaton?
Yeah, that could be one.
Potentially.
Goldie Hawn. Let's just put her in there.
I think that it's like a specific style of comedy that Jamie Lee Curtis is really good at. Not that no one else could do it, but I think that it's like a good role for her.
She did good, I think, when the switch initially happened. When they initially swap places, they wake up the next morning. I think she did a good job.
I think she's very strong throughout the movie.
I lose her partway through.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah. I think actually, I'm going to go on a hot take here. I think Lindsay Lohan did a better job acting in this movie than Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hurrah.
I actually have to agree with RJ. I think I've
that-
seen Jamie Lee Curtis in better movies where she's
Oh, well, yeah.
putting out like a bit more effort.
It's like, it's kind of a weird situation because like you have to understand like what kind of movie you're in, and it's so dated now. It's so funny. It's it's such a heightened reality of like bullies where they pull your shirt over your head and push you downstairs. Like that doesn't happen in real life,
Here you go.
but
Yeah.
like you kind of have to understand what's going on. And I think they both do a good job. I think that Lindsay is a little bit, you can see the gears moving in her head for a lot of this movie. I think she's really strong at the end of the movie, but I think that Jamie Lee Curtis is like more consistent at the very least. Like you see what she's coming from, or where she's coming from. Excuse me.
You want to know how a movie's dated?
There are a lot of ways.
When Chad Michael Murray's the love interest.
Oh yeah, true.
That's how you tell. You see
Yeah,
that?
I was watching
Boom.
it with like a bunch of people, and I was like, is this like his first movie, or was it just he happened to be in like 8 movies at the same time?
I think he was about 8 movies
I
at the
think
same
that's
time.
what it is. Yeah.
For about 2 years. It
Yeah,
was
pretty
about,
much.
He was the guy. Up
What
until 2005, I think.
was your pick? The Melissa McCarthy as the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I think that'd be funny just to see her watching around. I can see her like fall, like trying to pick through a window and falling, and that just being a scene right there. Classic.
I mean, honorable mention to my man Paul Giamatti as the fiance.
Oh, but he didn't get anything to do though. That's a waste of Paul Giamatti though.
Right.
He's just there. Like I like in the movie there's like an implication that like if the mom isn't there, then the son's just going to be jumping on the table. Like the stepfather couldn't just be like, "Hey, can you
I love
not do that?"
The one bit where the stepfather has a little bit of a freak out, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "I'm not going to be that dad that steps in and does all this stuff." And it's like,
And it comes out of
but that's-
nowhere.
That's kind of the like what?
That character is
She's
so
got
strange to
2
me.
kids.
Like he's like in one sense like the emotional core of the movie, at least for the mom, but he has no qualities. He's just there. And he's for whatever is convenient to the plot, really.
But my actual pick for swap, Kate Blanchett as the mom.
Oh,
I think.
she would nail that.
I think she would be more intense than Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think there's more comedic opportunities
Oh, I want that so
Or-
bad now.
for that kind of like she's stuck in a high school girl's body.
I hear you. Yeah.
And a high school girl's body stuck in Kate Blanchett's body.
Yes.
I think that would hit.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
And I think the age hits about right.
I think it's close.
like it's close
Honestly,
enough to work.
I think Jamie Lee Curtis was kind of young for that role. Because she wasn't like, how old was she? She was like 50? I guess
Well,
that
what-
kind of fits.
That
I
would
don't know.
work.
She kind of stopped aging for like 20 years
yeah,
there.
right. Yeah, I don't
Between
know.
Trading Places and this.
No, I think she was okay. I think it worked.
Okay. I
With
agree.
Lindsay Lohan, because we looked up last night, Lindsay Lohan was 17 in this.
Yeah.
Okay. How old was Jamie Lee? Do we know?
I don't know. She's probably...
It was 21 years ago.
You said this came out 2003?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
She's
She was 45.
So that would work.
Okay, yeah, that works.
45?
Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
So I think that was fine. I think she looked like a mom. Maybe she might have had Lindsay Lohan maybe a little early. Maybe. Based off the character. But I think she was about the right age for a mom in this. Like when I looked at it, I didn't see that difference personally. Like I was
Yeah.
just like the age. There was no like big age gap or like or a small age gap that I was kind of like, meh. I was like, that looks like a mom.
Yeah,
that
it was
looks like a kid.
Like you can believe that
Yeah.
like she is this established like therapist or whatever, and also had a kid and made all those things work. 2 kids actually, and a dead husband, which doesn't come up until the end randomly. I don't unless I missed something.
I was gonna say that I actually really appreciate how they didn't have like that whole arc that kids movies had, where it's like, oh my god, I don't want a new dad. I just want our old dad back. So many kids movies have that, where it's like the new dad's coming in. I'm kind of glad that they skipped over that.
Yeah, it kind of did, because Anna was like just really dismissive and rude to the stepfather.
She was
And
also
then-
dismissive and rude to everyone.
To everyone. No.
So
like Anna sucks. Like she's a teenager, but like she's a horrible
No,
teenager.
she is getting a bad rap on some things though. When you
Reminds
look
me of
at
your
like at
sister.
school, at school she was getting screwed over by the
100%
teacher.
reminds me of your sister.
Getting screwed over by the teacher.
No,
It's so funny how
being a monster.
it's so funny how she's the worst, but also the movie goes to great lengths to be like, but she's not, but everything's so unfair to her. And it's like, she could calmly explain these things to the adults in her life, but she doesn't. She's just a
I think she's
Mean
tried.
person
Like,
about
Could you imagine a World War II movie being like, oh my gosh, this guy, Adolf, like he tried to get into art school, but he just didn't cut
I feel,
it.
You know, the thing is, I feel like they're two different topics that we're talking about here. Go on.
I think she did try to explain those, and I think she does say that throughout the movie that she did try. And a couple of times in the beginning, but the mom was always just like, "Nah, you
Yeah,
kidding
it kind of
me?
comes back to the fact that like
No.
everything is so heightened in this. Like it's like, which is fine. Like it's a kids movie, especially from like the
Yeah.
2000s, and like it works for me at least. But it's just like, I don't know. I watched it like as a middle schooler. I'm guessing middle elementary schooler, and I loved it. I was elementary school for sure, but
Well, when do you watch it? Did you watch it when it came out on DVD?
I watched it in theaters and on DVD quite a few times.
You were in the middle schooler quite yet.
No, yeah, I would
Yeah.
be elementary, and then
Yep.
I probably watched it a bit in middle school. I don't know. This is like my family watches the movie all the time. I'm kind of surprised how much stuff was surprising to me, like the fact that the love interest,
Chad Michael Murray.
adult, he's an adult canonically. He
This
works
movie?
at the school.
He works at the school.
He
I didn't
works at
catch
the
that.
He works at the school.
I
And
did not
he's
catch
like,
that one.
and
You
then
know.
he's like, I have to go to my second job, and it's like, because like the mom even says like
Yeah.
he's too old for you, and like we were everyone who was watching was like, well, they're both in high school. Like I get that there's like a difference, but like whatever. And then he reveals, she's like, why are you in detention all the time? And she's like, oh, I work here. And as an audience member, you're kind of just like, oh, the mom was actually right in that situation.
But how much
so-
older he is?
It's so I don't know. They don't clarify.
Maybe he's a janitor. Maybe he's just a.
I was gonna say,
a
like,
tag?
if he's
I
like
don't think
20,
they even say what he
if he's
does.
like 19, 20 years old working at a school, like, okay.
Well, that's also a problem.
But she's
is out there
15.
too.
I mean, you know, that's
You know,
Oh,
they
oh,
were
that's
making.
right. She's 15.
she's 15 canonically.
Okay.
They
I
were-
was,
I
taking
keep-
I was taking account of ages in this movie.
Okay, because I keep thinking, oh, Lindsay Lohan's 17, so it's like, okay, that's not so
The
weird.
character is 15.
The character's 15.
They're just trying to make this movie
No,
more realistic.
no.
here. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to go for the realistic role or
Oh, he
approach.
should have been a youth pastor.
I think that it was like their way of writing around the fact that he has a motorcycle, but like just don't
Bad
give
boy.
him a motorcycle
Michael
or,
Murray.
or don't even address it. Who cares? Like it's
He's got 3 names.
very weird.
I
Yes.
feel like a nice car was out of the movie's budget, so they went with a motorcycle.
Oh my god! By
10
the
times
way,
better if it's a moped.
I was shocked to see that the car that the mom drives is literally down to the color the exact same car as my first car, a Volvo S60 2001 copper.
Do you think that car then is the car that eventually you got?
I hope so.
Did you drive the Freaky Friday car without realizing that you were driving the Freaky Friday car?
Did you find
I-
a pencil inside your glove box with Jamie Lee Curtis's teeth marks on it?
I don't know why, but this made me think of the part where she gets her cartilage pierced and she's like, yo!
Not with a
But
pencil.
to the best of my knowledge, I did not drive that car, but you know, I'm gonna believe that I did.
That lady from the restaurant is a demon. And this
She's awful. And her daughter is constantly being like, no, stop.
She's
To the point where in the final moments of the movie, she assaults an elderly man and a child.
Do you think she has other fortune cookies that do other things to people?
want to know that.
Oh, God. Okay, no.
Can we have a
literally-
movie about her?
Did she swap with the daughter
No, can we
just
have,
to like prove a point?
can we have a movie about her?
Conspiracy theory. They swapped in the middle of the movie and she realized the error of her ways and she's the daughter at the end. Oh my god,
I want a movie just about her.
I do too.
I
agree.
want that. I want that as a movie with Melissa McCarthy.
Okay, no, I need to
Melissa
reiterate.
McCarthy makes this
And
movie.
Paul Giamatti for any reason.
I need to reiterate the exact wording that they used to explain this. Strange Asian voodoo. That's how they explain the magic of the movie, and
I don't feel like voodoo's
voodoo is very specific to, I believe,
Like Africa?
Louisiana,
Yeah.
and Africa.
I was gonna say like Africa, Jamaica, parts of Central America.
But yeah, so Asian voodoo is not a thing.
No.
To the best of my knowledge. I could be wrong, but I feel like the screenwriters are more wrong than
Lazy?
me on this
Yeah.
one. It was just some strange Asian voodoo, I guess, and we all
No.
accepted that 21 years ago.
It's African, developed in Haiti.
Okay.
And yeah, no, we were right as far as locations.
But there is no Asian version of it, yes?
No.
Okay. That was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, no. I was just fact checking us.
Fact dragon. But I really want to know more about this lady and what kind of cookie she's got.
I think Disney was like, ooh, maybe this wasn't our best character. Maybe let's kind of forget
Oh
about
no,
her.
she might be the best character in the whole movie.
She is. What's her motivation?
What is her motivation? That's a very good question.
Is it like, oh, this is a bad
No,
tip?
it literally-
This is a straight up bad.
It literally-
$2 for a $50 meal?
It literally shows her like looking at the
I'm gonna
mom,
mess you up.
looking
your
at the
fortune
mom and
cookie.
daughter fighting, and she's just like, and the daughter's like, "No, mom, please, not again." Which begs the question: how often does she do this? Is she constantly giving people magic fortune cookies for like body switching?
How often does she go there? And
She belongs.
And also-
she belongs in like some Twin Peaks type city.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, I believe in the DCOM, the newest one, they removed that entirely for obvious reasons, and it's like a magic hourglass or something that makes them switch bodies. And I don't know the details of it, but they cut out the racist parts. Probably good.
Yeah.
But now it's an hourglass? I
So-
mean, be more creative.
I'm gonna flip the script real quick. Can we talk about how this daughter was all in about possibly seeing her stepdad naked at one point?
I will go to whatever lengths. I will go to whatever lengths you need me to go
At the
through.
end of the movie, before they switch back, she goes, "Just call off the wedding," and then she's
She's like, no. I will go. I will do what we need to do to make sure that you're going to be happy.
Did Disney not see that?
It's kind of the thing that triggers it, and it's like,
It's
hold
like-
up.
Disney was like, "We can't allow that to happen."
And the mom is just like, yeah, okay.
There's like so much about it that's like so uncomfortable watching as an adult. Like you're watching like the stepdad try to kiss the mom, and like you understand that he believes this to be his fiance, but it's also like a
Unintentional
15-year-old
statutory
girl.
rape.
Yeah, by no fault of his own.
Right.
It's uncomfortable for sure, and
Yeah.
like they play it off as comedy, and like it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is just like oh
Cringy.
yeah, it's like ugh.
That cringy is, but it's like, are we? You know that Disney at that point were like, we gotta stop that. We gotta do something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this could be all bad. So I think what they did is they made that earthquake happen. Boom.
No, they like.
swap places.
I am very happy that the stepfather never
Got naked.
kisses the mom while
Disappointment of the movie.
while the daughter is in her body. Like they go to great lengths to avoid that, and bare minimum, I guess, but
No,
good.
remind me,
Because
this-
frankly, I feel like the movie would have done that if someone wasn't like, "Hey, maybe let's not do that."
When Jamie Lee Curtis is inside of Anna's body, does she kiss Chad Michael Murray?
No, I don't think she does. I believe that the only kiss between either of the leads is the mom in the daughter's body kissing Chad Michael Murray. Is that what you asked?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I just
literally
asked.
what he asked.
So let's get all that out. Yes.
So Jamie Lee Curtis kiss.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that technically cheating? The Jackal wants to know.
But she has to there's so much tackling in this movie.
My
There's like
que-
3 times when someone gets tackled, and that's one of them. She tackles him because he's singing "Baby One More Time" outside of their house.
Terribly, I might add.
So bad. Like he's a music guy, and he whatever.
Everyone is going into therapy after this. But
Oh, yeah.
my question is, when you switch back into your original body, do you retain the memories from when you're in Jamie Lee Curtis's body?
Or you
I
just blacked
assume
out?
Lindsay Lohan?
I think you
That's
do.
implied.
Okay.
At the
They do,
end.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, like, would she recognize, like, if she were to kiss Chad Michael Murray again as Lindsay Lohan with Lindsay Lohan's mind consciousness?
I guess
Would-
we'll
would-
find out
would she-
in
would she be
Freaky
like, this-
Friday
this-
2
No.
when they unpack their trauma in therapy.
Wait, so here's
Stupid
Here's
Saturday.
another one. So let's say, obviously, Chad Michael Murray is a thing for Anne at this point, right?
it's
Mom.
very confusing
Lindsay
because
Chad
like,
Michael Murray has anything for any woman paying attention to him.
But let's go.
I'm just
Let's go to
saying.
this real quick. So
Dude's got weird incel vibes.
he's kissed the mom inside of Anna's body.
Yes.
I imagine she still kisses different than what Anna would kiss like. Do you think then he knew?
oh, has more experience.
didn't even mean to do that.
So then later on, then
Don't worry,
Anna
I'm gonna bump
kisses.
the volume on that.
Anna kisses Chad Michael Murray. Then, do you think that then they turn around and go, "Wait, this is not the same kisser here"? Throwing this out.
See, here's the thing.
What if he's not experienced enough of a kisser because he's also so desperate? He's just like it's a lesser kiss, but like whatever.
He's an adult man who dates high schoolers.
right.
I feel like that says all you need to say.
Stranger danger. Child predator.
I feel like as long
He's
as
a few
someone's
hit rap songs away from being P Diddy.
kissing him, he doesn't really care.
What's that guy from Catch a Predator?
Oh, what is his name?
He's on the Chad Michael Murray.
Mark. No. I don't remember.
Oh, that's gonna bother me.
Do you still have like regular like things that you do or
Oh, like topics?
Kind of
No,
been
not
talking the
really.
entire time?
gone
We
away,
talk
so-
about like swapping actors.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen?
Oh, it is Chris.
Chris
Hansen.
Hansen's after Chad Michael Murray.
Isn't that a South Park? He's in South Park at some point, and he goes Chris Hansen.
Yeah, I could believe it.
Something.
He's the guy who catches predators, and I think he's after Chad Michael Murray. This movie. Better movie. Chris
place to
Hansen
put your
shows up, and then bless Chad Michael Murray.
Wait,
Actually, yes.
I have a fun fact.
Ooh,
So, Freaky Friday is based on. You might not be able to include this, but whatever. I just wanted to share it. It's based on a book, and that book has several, not sequels, but like spiritual sequels. So it's like the same idea. And there's basically a boy version of it, where it's the father and the son who switch bodies. And I read the first couple chapters of it when I was a kid.
This is how you masturbate, son.
No, So
The fact that you're not rejecting that's really alarming.
I read the first couple chapters of the book when I was a kid, and I'm guessing it must have been written in like 70s, 80s. And like it's not that egregious, but it's just for some reason when the two switch bodies, the father is urinating
Wait, they switch while he's urinating?
while he is urinating, because I remember reading the chapter
Don't cross the streams.
and no, they're not both at the same place. They're in separate places, but the dad is urinating when the son enters his body. When they switch bodies. And I remember the line specifically being
we're not that type of podcast, Trevor.
or something like I was so confused, and then I looked down and just thought, "Oh wow." Those are the words that are used. Not like I don't like word for word, but I remember that like
that's another topic. Is it? It'd be so weird to wake up and you'd have to change clothes, and now you're naked as the mom,
seeing
With
your
her big-ass
daughter's
cock.
body.
or now you're seeing the same.
Oh, okay.
Or vice versa.
Now you're seeing the mom's or the mom seeing the daughter's body. Both ways. Like that is a weird thing.
That is weird, and I think that the movie very intentionally brushes that under the. It brushes a lot of logistics under the rug, which it
There's
should.
lots of questions.
Which it should.
Oh, absolutely. If
It's
you're
a-
gonna,
it's a
but
kid's
it's a kids
movie.
movie.
But we need like a Gremlins 2 version of Freaky Friday where they go into all that.
I'm not opposed.
this would be all weird.
Which is better than what we got.
No.
Did you guys not like this movie? I was laughing the entire time.
Weird.
And it's nostalgic. It's not nostalgic for sure, but I think it's pretty funny.
Well, I mean, we can dive into that final thought process
Okay.
about this movie, person. So, Trevor, obviously, give us your rating. Well, as a kids, let parents know what their kids when they should be
what
seeing
age
it.
would you let your kid watch this if you were to have a kid? What would you rate it? Kind of break that
I
down.
would say it's probably fine for like 6 or 7-year-olds to watch it. It's not like there are like some innuendos, but this is my first time watching it as an adult, and those all went over my head, and they were quite mild in what there was. I think it's a fun movie. I think it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is the right choice. I think it has some good performances and some jokes that like maybe they work too well on me because I'm nostalgic for this movie. I used to watch it all the time. But I think it's a pretty solid, fun movie, especially for a parent-kid dynamic. I think it works pretty well. It is dated. It's very dated. So maybe the sequel will help with some of that. But I'd give it like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. I think it's a pretty strong movie for kids.
You've seen the other two, right?
I've seen the original, but a very, very long. I was like a little kid when I
Okay.
watched it. And
Okay.
I haven't seen the new one. I just know a little bit about it.
Okay.
Personally, I think Freaky Fridays, to me, just the stories of them are just not entertaining. I think I don't know why when I watch those movies, they just kind of get a little dry to me. So I'm going to kind of bring it down a little bit. And Trevor, I might die. So this is my
I
farewell.
don't feel that strongly
Abdu?
about this movie. I just think it's fun.
Andrew, you can get my Pokemon cards later.
Why? I'm gonna be dead too.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I think there's a time and
I'm
place
definitely dead.
every so often to watch it. The soundtrack is like I do like the rock band in this movie personally. I do like their music that they put out. I do like the little ending with the show where Jamie Lee Curtis plugs the guitar in and plays and saves the day.
I love that scene.
That was
What are your problems with it, though? Like, what don't you like about it?
I just think in some places that is just not my cup of tea.
It can drag a bit, for sure.
And I think that's what gets me is that I find it on the same level as like The Pacifier that came out around the
Never saw
same
it.
time period.
Wait, is that where?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel is taking care of the kids or something, and then they like get broken, and the kids have to like be action stars or something. I get what you're saying, and I think that's a fair comparison. I wouldn't call it a negative thing, though. I think it's
No, I just think those movies that were pushed out that time period from Disney at that time kind of
Yeah.
have all of the same kind of like lows and highs throughout them. And those drags, like there's those drags throughout it a couple of times. So I think it just kind of goes up and down, drag up and down. It's the same roller coaster over and over again. It's like a cookie
I get what
cutter.
you're saying,
they
because it's
put.
just like basically in the first act, it's like, oh, the mom has this struggle and the daughter has this struggle, and then they switch, and it's like, oh, now the daughter has to see what the mom does, and the mom has to see
And
what the daughter
there's
does.
some good comedy parts in there. Don't get me wrong. There's good comedy parts in there, but I just think that it was a cookie cutter thing that Disney was doing at that time
I
period.
can kind of agree with that. Yeah, if you're a, see, the thing is like, I want to say that like if you're a kid, you'd like it, but if you're a kid now, a lot wouldn't make sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's so dated now.
It
so
is. But
it's hard.
I mean, if it's something that I'm going to let my kids watch, yeah, probably when they're maybe 10, 8, so somewhere in there.
Okay.
Maybe if 6 or 7, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I'm not against it either. So I just think it's one of those movies that you want to make sure that you watch with them and that you want to make sure that those innuendos actually did go over their head. That's so then one way if they have something, then you can have those conversations with them if you need be.
Yeah.
But you just want to make sure that, okay, yeah, obviously that went over their head. They're not that smart. So let's continue on. And yeah, that's where I'd kind of place my final thoughts on this movie. So it's just kind of
Well,
cookie cutter Disney at that
you're
point.
still alive, so
Thankfully, Andrew, you did not get my Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
That Charizard
drats.
is still mine.
Oh, you got a Charizard?
I have a Charizard.
Oh, you're dead now.
Oh.
It's not Trevor that's going to kill you.
yeah. If Andrew dies, it will be for very different reasons. But I will be responsible, though. So, go on, Andrew.
Break. You might want to check
Oh,
your brakes
boy.
later. Check those brakes.
I didn't really like this movie.
Was this your first time watching it, like as an adult, for context?
This was his first time ever.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I would argue that's a bit different.
Yeah.
So fair.
He doesn't have the nostalgia feel of it. He
Yeah,
didn't get
I think
kicked
that
in
was a
the-
lot for
No.
me.
The nostalgia piece.
No, I was missing a lot of that. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
Wow.
There's no sharp objects around, so I think you're okay.
Okay, calm down. Okay,
He might.
I want to
Don't
hear.
worry,
I want to
don't
hear
worry.
why.
I'm gonna be choked out here. No, so the whole time it's they swap bodies, and the whole point of the movie is just for them to realize the struggles that a person goes through, which they don't really realize till the very, very, very end. There's no actual like growth, the character development that they have. I don't really feel like they earned. It's not something where they really had to struggle. The rock scene, I think, is a perfect example because, yeah, it's something where it was a pivotal moment. It was kind of cool to see what's her face play off stage.
Yeah.
While Lindsay Lohan was on faking it. But you didn't see Lindsay Lohan with Jamie Lee Curtis's conscious in her trying to learn how to play the guitar, trying to meet that deadline to like, don't disappoint the daughter. She
think
still showed up to the show. She just, there was
Didn't she
no,
get
there was no
kidnapped?
like lead up
What?
to that.
Didn't the friends kidnap her?
They had to ambush the rehearsal dinner, and at that point, it seemed like the daughter had like accepted that she wasn't going to be able to be at the audition, and they kidnapped the wrong person, obviously.
I'm just
But-
saying that there should have been more rewrites
I
to,
hear
to,
you.
to get to that point. And also like maybe if the mom was like having to give some big presentation or like some big thing as like another hurdle for like Lindsay's character
Yeah.
to kind of like grow
Yeah,
up
so-
against.
She did have that book
I-
scene too, but she didn't. Well, she wasn't
but
prepping for that.
there's no like challenge of having to work through to meet the other person's goals. It's just something that happens and then it's fixed.
It kind of is, and I agree with you on that point. It doesn't ruin the movie for me, but it does frustrate me that like when the Anna in the mom's body is like talking to the fiance, and she's like, oh well, she had this like audition that she wanted to go to, but it was at the same time as the rehearsal dinner, so like I said no. And the dad's like, or not the dad, but the fiance is like, well, why didn't you just like try and figure it out? And it's kind of just like,
Yeah.
that never occurred to anyone in the story. Like, try to figure it out. No one thought that. It has to be these two big
They
things.
needed some friction between
No,
the
yeah,
characters.
yeah. So I kind of understand it. I kind of just wish that like the fiance wasn't like the one to point it out. It just makes it seem so like arbitrary, which it is. But like you don't. If something's arbitrary in your movie, don't point it out.
Right. But it just felt like the character development that they did have wasn't earned and wasn't actually like developed.
I don't entirely agree, but I see where you're coming from, though. I think that it was done in kind of like a kids movie kind of way, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Right.
like this happened, and therefore this happened. But I can understand
There's no
where you're.
growing pains.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, though.
The dad was a weird throwaway character that they probably could have just
The
cut out.
fiancé?
Yeah,
Yeah, I said
they
I
could have
can't
just cut him out.
Keep the grandpa though.
Keep the grandpa.
Oh my god, the grandpa! We didn't even talk about him. He reminds me of my grandparents in a really disturbing way, frankly.
Keep the grandpa.
It's fantastic. But cut the fiance out. The Chinese restaurant scene, glad they switched that up because that has aged horribly. That has aged so bad.
Melissa McCarthy.
Okay, so
But
where
that-
are we at? Chinese restaurant bad. Melissa McCarthy good. Character development TBD. I
Not
would
good.
say TBD.
Could be better. For ages to watch, I'll say 5 or 6.
I don't think that the innuendos are even that bad.
I really don't think so.
I just
and-
want to make sure it goes over my kid's head is all.
That's
just,
fine.
just watch it with them the first time, just to make sure. Okay,
Yeah, no,
this
that
kid
makes
ain't
sense.
smart enough.
There's not many
We're okay.
shows or movies I would let a 5 or 6 year old like kind of watch on their own first time around, unless it's like SpongeBob.
I think the worst thing or the most like egregious thing in it is that the dad keeps calling the mom sexy.
That's fine.
That's kind of the worst thing or the most like adult thing in the movie to me, except for one or two jokes that are meant for adults. But I can't even think of what they are, so.
But it's 5 or 6 year old. I just don't see picking up on
Absolutely, I agree.
a lot of
Yeah.
stuff there. So I don't see those conversations happening until much later. But anyways, that was that. If you like what we
That was that. That's how we had to. So we're ending the show. That
We
was
recorded
that.
something.
Here you go. Thanks for listening.
This is what we got. This is what we got, guys. If you like what we did,
that
sure
was
to-
that.
we out.